I'm originally from Bethel, Alaska. It's a small town 400 miles west-northwest of Anchorage. It's out on the tundra, and it's on the Kuskokwim River, which is basically the second largest river in Alaska. Growing up in Bethel was interesting. Your life revolves around school and sports. I played 3 varsity sports throughout high school, volleyball, basketball, and then a sport called the Native Youth Olympics, and I was a seal hop competitor. Outside of school and sports, there isn't a whole lot. We didn't have a weight room, so my introduction to powerlifting and lifting weights came later in life. I would say that I grew up in a place that's pretty remote relative to the rest of the country, but if you look at it on the scale of just Alaska, it's really not that remote. We have 6,000 people. We had any of the necessities that you could think of. Not many of the things that aren't necessary. We didn't have a bowling alley. We didn't have a movie theater. We didn't have a swimming pool. And I didn't get a cell phone until I left for college. CrossFit was my first introduction to a barbell. I did my first powerlifting competition in November of 2012. Going into Raw Nationals 2013 in Orlando, I really had no idea what to expect. I had set a couple of Raw Junior American records at a local meet before going down. So in the junior division, I knew I was going to be okay, but I had no idea what to expect in the open division, and I had no idea like the magnitude of how many lifters would be there. So it was my first time doing a weight cut. At my first Raw Nationals, it was an interesting transition to go from small state, small town powerlifting here in Anchorage, where the entire room is just the like little room in the gym with a platform and maybe 50 chairs, and every single person in each chair is cheering for you, and an announcer who knows your name and knows you personally, to a meet with hundreds of people. And the only people who know me are a couple of my coaches, a couple of my teammates that I had just met that weekend, and then my family who was there with me. And it was overwhelming and scary. I can safely say that 2 years ago, I had no idea what equipped powerlifting was. I barely even knew what raw powerlifting was. I had no concept for gear or for the numbers that people were putting up. I knew who Priscilla was, and that was the extent of it. So the transition from training raw to training in gear has been really fast and drastic, because I started my cycle for Open Nationals 2015 having never done a full equipped cycle in my life. So it was full of ups and downs and learning experiences and huge PRs and then really terrible days, because I didn't understand the whole concept. I feel like to an extent I have to prove that I earned my spot on the Open National team because I'm so new and I don't have a proven track record. But then on the contrary, I earned my spot regardless of how many meets I've done in equipment and at the national level. And so in that sense, I don't feel like I need to prove myself at all, because my spot was earned fair and square. I think that I strive in challenging situations. I stopped doing CrossFit to pursue powerlifting, which I had never done before, and now I'm pursuing equipped powerlifting for the time being. And I think that has to do with just the fact that it is such a challenge every single day, I really do love raw powerlifting. It gets you back to the element of being able to just show up at the gym, lift heavy, and then go home. And there's not a whole lot of thought that needs to go into it. But equipped powerlifting gives you a whole new challenge on top of that. So that's why I'm interested in both of them. There have been struggles in the transition from raw powerlifting to equipped powerlifting, one of which is the time commitment to training. So when I'm in a cycle, I'll have 3 to 3.5 hour training sessions, and balancing that on top of working full time and grad school is pretty exhausting. Another one is pain tolerance and understanding that pain is just part of the game. I had no idea what breaking in a new suit or bench shirt was going to be like. And so the first few training sessions in my new gear was alarming and eye-opening. And then the trusty first couple weeks in knee wraps is always interesting because it's really painful. And you think to yourself, how is this ever going to feel okay? And then I think the last and probably the most important lesson I'm learning is just lifting in my new gear. And so it takes a different technique than I'm used to, because in raw powerlifting, if you lose form, it's okay. Like, you can push through it, but you have to keep things together when you're lifting in equipment, because bad stuff can happen if you get out of position. So that's been a really important lesson to learn. I want to say thank you for watching this video. I am proud and excited to be headed to Luxembourg this weekend to lift on Team USA at the Open World Championships. Training has gone well in preparation for Open Worlds. Here's my best squat of this training cycle. It's 556 pounds for a set of 2. I am extremely grateful for the team of people who helped me get ready for my first IPF World Championship, because without them, it would have been much more difficult. Thank you for your support, and I hope to represent the United States well. Let's go!